Vietnam's main land area is 331,689 square kilometers, with a 3,260 kilometer long coastline. Vietnam is enriched with energy and mineral resources such as petroleum and natural gas, coal and iron ore, limestone and bauxite. With the great potential of hydropower and thermoelectricity, Vietnam now has the capability of meeting the surging demands on power and fuel from the economy. As a result of the economic reforms begun in 1986, Vietnam has become one of the fastest growing economies in the world. The GDP growth rate for 2007 is estimated at 8.5%, and the country is targeting continued growth at 9% for 2008 and an increase in the GDP per capita to $1,100 by 2010. The government of Vietnam has been keen to strengthen and extend the relations with regional and the international community. Vietnam is an active member of ASEAN, was the host country for APEC 2006, and was elected as a non-permanent UN Security Council member for the 2008-2009 term, thereby illustrating its strong commitment in making active contributions to the UN process of keeping and promoting peace and security all over the world. On January 11, 2007, Vietnam became a member of the World Trade Organization, fully integrating into the global economy and bringing about great opportunities for cross-border trading and for foreign investment inside the country.
The new regulations, new guidelines, new agreements that WTO accession and the other agreements that go with that have created for investors is a significant increase in clarity and transparency that makes it much easier and much more attractive for us to invest in Vietnam.
The government of Vietnam is accelerating and ensuring full transparency of its ongoing state-owned enterprise equitization program and encouraging the participation of domestic and foreign private investors in almost all of its economic sectors. 20 years after the law on foreign investment was first promulgated in 1987, Vietnam has attracted over 8,100 foreign invested projects with $75 billion in registered capital. Korea, Singapore, Chinese Taipei, Japan, and Hong Kong are the 5 largest investors in Vietnam. Investment commitments from U.S. companies, including investment inflows through their branches in the British Virgin Islands, Hong Kong, and Singapore, rank 6th out of 81 countries and territories investing in Vietnam. In recent years, foreign direct investment commitments have been growing impressively to the peak of $12 billion in 2006 and expected to go over $13 billion in 2007. Vietnam has become home to over 150 transnational corporations from all over the world, including Samsung, Toyota, Unilever, BP, Nestle, and Foxconn. Vietnam's population is now around 85 million, and more than 60% of the population are under 25 years old, creating a young, dynamic, and hard-working labor force, as well as a large, diversified, and growing consumption market.
Based on our over 10 years experience in Vietnam, we know the biggest advantage of this country is very high potential of human resources and high labor skill at a very competitive cost.
For us, a growing market, an interesting market fitting to our portfolio, and as Vietnam is opening more and more, also the environment we need, like the suppliers for our systems, are more attracted to Vietnam. I think this is a great opportunity to be here now and to be part of this society.
Vietnam's long coastline and strategic location in the heart of Southeast Asia and on 3 economic corridors is an enormous advantage in developing a complex system of seaports, of international sea routes, and air routes to make Vietnam become a regional and international center of forwarding and logistics. The U.S. Commerce Secretary Carlos M. Gutierrez, during his mission to Vietnam in early November 2007, stated that Vietnam is going to continue to grow at a very fast pace, and the opportunities are very strong. As evaluated by the Doing Business 2008 report published by the World Bank, Vietnam is among the countries that have made the significant improvement in the business environment by strengthening its investor protection and easing the access to credit.
There are many improvements during the last years concerning the United Enterprise Law, the Common Investment Law. There should be more improvements in the educational system, which is also under, let's say, consideration, and there are some steps going forward. We also have a lot of improvements in infrastructure. So the power supply is getting better, transportation systems are getting much more sophisticated.
According to the latest UN Commission for Trade and Development report, Vietnam ranks 6th out of 141 countries in potential for attracting foreign direct investment for the 2007-2009 period. This organization recognizes that Vietnam is an important area for investment in manufacturing, banking, and in financial services. The government of Vietnam gives priority to foreign investment in manufacturing high-tech products, producing new energy and materials, utilizing advanced techniques and environmentally friendly technologies, and in developing infrastructure facilities, human resources, agriculture, and labor-intensive industries. Vietnam now has 9 economic zones, 147 industrial zones, and 2 high-tech parks. Investment projects in these parks are encouraged by the government and benefit from various investment incentives, including comprehensive infrastructure, favorable transportation conditions, available utility supplies, and one-stop services for administrative procedures.
But our biggest concern and our biggest challenge is moving our projects through the various regulatory approvals and government approvals in an efficient and cost-effective manner.
Realizing the challenges for investors, significant effort has been made to simplify and shorten the investment registration and evaluation procedures. A task force from the relevant ministries and authorities may be established to support investors in large projects in order to streamline the process of investment registration and disbursement.
We started just with 30 students, and now we have 3,800. We started with 15 staff, now we have 340. Every time we have had a significant problem, and these will occur in any country, we have consulted and worked with our Vietnamese counterparts and had really great help and excellent outcomes. We will continue to expand in Vietnam. We will probably, in the next 2 or 3 years, double the size of our investment, double the size of our staff, and continue to commit to the future of Vietnam as a place where a foreigner of any nationality can do business.
The government of Vietnam urges participation from the private sector and foreign institutions in order to streamline the regulatory framework and improve the investment climate, such as the Vietnam-Japan Joint Initiative and the Vietnam Business Forum. The Vietnam Business Forum is held twice a year and brings together policy aspects and experts from the government and from the practical side of the business community, and it makes tremendous contributions to the improvement of the business environment in Vietnam.
The Business Forum has been providing critical input in terms of formulating the business regulations that levels the playing field between the foreign and domestic private investors. It has helped in reducing taxes and fees. It has provided input on how to reduce bureaucracy, to speed up the issuing of licenses.
Considering the FDI sector as an integral part of the economy, the government of Vietnam will place more concentration on administrative reform, policy review, infrastructure improvement, and human capital training in order to create the most favorable business environment for foreign investors.
Trong vấn đề để nâng cao hiệu quả khả năng đầu tư, thu hút đầu tư đó là chúng ta phải cùng với các nhà đầu tư phát triển, xây dựng một cái xã hội bền vững để tạo ra một cái sự gắn kết giữa xã hội, giữa người dân với các nhà đầu tư nước ngoài, tạo ra một cái không khí, một cái môi trường hài hòa để là các nhà đầu tư nước ngoài có thể yên tâm đầu tư phát triển lâu dài tại Việt Nam.
Vietnam, an Eastern country with rich values in its history and culture, will be a benign place for foreigners to enjoy a peaceful and stable life. Vietnam, a dynamic and fast-growing economy, promises to be an ideal destination for investors. The red carpet has been laid out for you to ride on the wave of investment to Vietnam.